Monday Night Raw Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and or PLEs. And if they bring back WWE Prime Time, baby, we're doing that too. So let's get started with the hottest take from Poetic Reflex. This WrestleMania is actually great. Sadly, though, it's behind the times. We have more knowledge and access now than we had in the Attitude Era, and that ruins the greatness of WrestleMania. If this was the Attitude Era or earlier, this WrestleMania would be goated. Okay, so that is actually a fair statement. However, I also think it's a little unfair of a statement. If you were to, So it's fair in that you're absolutely right. We've got way too much information at our disposal where it's like, it kind of ruins things. Like, we knew Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest was going to happen way before it actually happened. Most of us, a lot of us, some of us, I did at least. I don't know how far deep in the wrestling bubble you guys are, you gals are, but I did know that that was going to happen. And so then I already had an opinion of that feud when it was announced, and I was like, Drew McIntyre, he deserves more. And so they had an uphill battle in order to win me over, which they did. So that is fair. Me having access to more knowledge, well, it is unfair to these builds. But I will say this, to say, oh, well, compare this WrestleMania to a WrestleMania 30 years ago, I think that's too far of a gap. You know, you have to adapt or you die. That is a Ferengi rule of acquisition. Actually, no, I think it's expand or die, but you get the point. So, you know, to compare it to 30 years ago, that's not really fair, because 30 years ago, they were doing something totally different than what they are doing, than how the times have changed. But I would say it's fair to compare it to maybe the WrestleManias of the last 5 years. You can do that. There's a time frame in which you can compare to, because yeah, this is going to be way better than WrestleMania 1, no matter what. The build is better than WrestleMania 1, I agree. But is the build better than WrestleMania 39? Notice I'm not comparing it to 40. WrestleMania 40 was an all-time great build, so I do feel it's a little unfair there. But is it unfair? Maybe it's not unfair in that The Rock knew what he was doing last year. The Rock came and made everything great. So when The Rock came this year and threw a monkey wrench and everything, well, of course we're going to compare it to last year. Rock, you came back last year and was great, so we're going to compare you to last year as well. But this year, you come in for like just 2 or 3 appearances, change everything, and then leave and never show up and not even be mentioned, not give us an Instagram promo. So I don't know, maybe it is kind of fair to at least compare the main event segment with last year, because The Rock was involved in both. I feel The Rock kind of screwed up this year. He kind of screwed it all up this year. I don't know. So your comment, your hottest take, I'm kind of like on board with it, and I'm kind of not on board with it, but that's okay. You know what? We're allowed to have a difference of opinions here on this channel. Just like, you know what? I have an opinion that I never actually liked this big gold belt. The big gold belt was never one of my favorite belts, but I know a lot of people, they love it, and I would love to give this belt away. I want to give it to one of you beautiful people out there in YouTube land. All you got to do to win this is comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification. Hit a thumbs up too. Thumbs up help the engagement of the channel. Trying to hit 20,000 subscribers and quit the day job. Follow the dream of producing wrestling content full time for you, beautiful people. Let's do the next hot take. Rolanda Lynch. Gunther should be grateful that he is wrestling Jay Uso at WrestleMania. He isn't on the same level as Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, John Cena, or CM Punk. He beat Damian Priest for the title, and then Randy Orton. Randy Orton might have less than 10 singles wins in the last 10 years on television and PLEs. He actually hasn't won on a PLE in 4 years. Gunther is a dud as world champion. That was spicy takes today. It's unfair, I would say, like last one. Like, you can't, it's hard to compare certain things. I wouldn't compare Gunther's reign to Roman Reigns' reign, and maybe he's not on the same level as John Cena, but I think he would be definitely a good villain for John Cena. But on the same level as Cody Rhodes? I see him as the same level as Cody Rhodes. So it's just like, it depends on the situation. But Gunther, I feel, his championship reign has been a little, like, I don't know, up and down, up and down. I feel it could have definitely been better. We're comparing it to his IC title reign. And, you know, his IC title reign was a bunch of, against mid-carders. And you can be a little more dominant against mid-carders. So, his reign could have been better, but not the worst. And unless we're talking about when he was feuding with Damian Priest, because that was the worst. But for the most part, I think he has made the best out of this promo with this program with Jay. Problem is, the program itself has ups and downs. It's like they gave us one monumental moment, and that's it. And that monumental moment would have been good enough if this was a 4-week program, but it's a 10-week program. And it was like, it started good, and then it dipped really low, and then they were feuding with lower mid-card guys, and then it got really hot again when Jimmy got involved, and then it plateaued real quick, and then Jay came out this week to say to the crowd what he said to Gunther last week. I don't know. But I hear you. I don't want to just, like, take a crap on your opinion. It's your opinion, and you're allowed to have it. If you don't think Gunther is a top guy, that's okay for you to think that. I do think he's a top guy when we allow him to be a top guy. My hero is John Cena. This WrestleMania build has been hecka boring. He didn't say hecka, but I'm going to say hecka because I think that's funny. Hecka boring. And even though I know the matches will be awesome, that's the key here. These matches are going to be amazing at WrestleMania. We're going to have a good old time this weekend for 2 nights. It's going to be awesome and amazing. But it's fair to say, to me, that the builds have not been as good. These matches are going to win me over, but, like, I'm not really emotionally invested in any of them to the point where, like, I have been in the past, which we've already talked about the comparison thing. Pearl Watson, 20, the Usos are the greatest tag team, not the New Day, the greatest tag team of all time. Okay, you know, I actually personally, the Usos are my second favorite tag team of all time, so I do agree with you. However, the on the active roster today, the New Day are the greatest tag team because the Usos aren't active. Booker Man, TTJC, Patreon of the channel, says, I feel like this is all for the roast. The build is all for the roast. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll look back at all this and be like, dang, they had us. So there's a roast after WrestleMania, and TTJC is like, he's saying this whole build is just to provide material so they can make fun of. That would, I hope not. I hope they're building to WrestleMania and not building to a comedy roast. But that would be fun. But you know what? Maybe we will look back. Maybe we will look back and be like, whoa. I think it was WrestleMania 39. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley had one of the worst WrestleMania builds of all time. But then we look back at that match and we're like, dang, that was one of the greatest matches of all time. It was a very good match. Ahmed Ryan, the only way people are going to remember this Mania are the banger matches because all the build to this Mania has been meh. And it's sad that this mediocrity was the last Raw before Mania. Papa H is not cooking. I think what happened was Papa H cooked, right? He cooked the meal. It was all said and done. And then maybe The Rock called and was like, yeah. Can you make everything vegan? I turned vegan. and Papa H was like, oh, okay. No worries. Let me remake everything. And he didn't know how to cook a vegan meal. And let's be honest, vegan meals, they suck. Don't get mad at me, vegans. Let's be honest. You guys are always trying to make your food taste like, dead animals. So, like, let's just be fair here. You like the taste of dead animals, you just don't like consuming them. Robert Era, if this PLE was a pay-per-view, I wouldn't pay to see this WrestleMania 41. That's fair. That's honestly one of the reasons why I fear that WrestleMania is lackluster, because at this point, they don't really have to, like, they've got all their systems in place where no matter what, they're going to make a profit. So it's like, I'm afraid the fact that this company can go on autopilot right now and still just generate income, that they don't need to necessarily worry about selling certain things, because that was, in the past, they were motivated by, we have to sell this pay-per-view, but now they don't have to. They're going to make money regardless, and not just money, but record-breaking amounts of money. So it's like, because, we can tell WWE what we want. We can make a difference with our wallet. Because me doing hot takes on YouTube, disagreeing with the Jay Uso Gunther build, is just an old man yelling at a cloud. But they've taken our ability away to hurt them with our money even. That's how smart and diabolical they have become. Pro Gamer, RKO, I think this is the lamest go-home show I've ever seen in my life. To the bad booking and the mediocrity is just atrocious. It looks like a lot of people are like that. There's nothing I can say now that just reflects on this, but if Rock doesn't show up for Mania 41, then I don't know what to say anymore. I think that statement's fair, though. It's like, honestly, at this point, if Rock even shows up on SmackDown, even though I'll pop and be like, oh my God, I love you, Rock, it's still, like, right now, it's too little too late. Like, why did they bring The Rock in to ask for Cody's soul? It's like, you start something and then, I don't know. Anthony Blakely, I think that the triple threat with Punk, Roman, and Seth is worthy of the main event spot, and Jay and Gunther is just going to be another barn burner, and not to mention the getup Seth was wearing resembled the tactical gear the Shield wore. Yeah, I didn't actually pick up on that the tactical gear, and which was obviously something that he wanted us to pick up on after he hit Roman with the chair, which is a callback to when he did it in the Shield. So good eye. I saw a meme. I saw the internet showed me that, but that's the only way I realized it. Someone had to point it out to me. But you are correct. KB, my hot take is my anniversary is this weekend, and the anniversary build has been better than this WrestleMania. That's good though. That's a good thing for you. Eddie Brown's KY. I loved the Gunther and Jay promo. I actually loved the Gunther promo. The Jay promo, I thought was like, wait, why, what? Like, I didn't understand the Jay promo really that much, and that he was just said, I'm not scared of you anymore, and he came out not yeeting, but he wanted the crowd to yeet because he asked for an encore. The Jay promo was confusing, but the Gunther promo was smoking. Logan's finisher is amazing, and AJ knows how to sell it. Yes, AJ could sell a refrigerator to an Eskimo, which actually I heard that Eskimos like refrigerators because it keeps their stuff from freezing, ironically. So it's like a refrigerator is like a heating box for Eskimos. So I guess I could sell maybe he could sell sunscreen to an Eskimo. Then we got, I'm so hype for the Paul Heyman custody fight. I like how you call that. I love your attitude. You are making the best out of a bad situation. The Paul Heyman custody fight. Yeah, that's but you like it, and that's good. To me, it's making this whole build around the custody of a manager is weird to me for a main event program at WrestleMania, but I like that you like it. And Dom, the baby goat. Dom is awesome. And then I'm so excited for WrestleMania 41. Keep that excitement, man. Keep it. Cherish it. I love that you love it. I wish I had a piece of your excitement. Fisher33R, Logan Paul is actually a good wrestler. He's better than half of the roster. I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't think he's a better wrestler, but is he more athletic? Yes, he's probably one of the more athletic wrestlers on the roster. So if we change word from wrestler to athletic, then we're good. But as a wrestler, he's okay too. I just think that is he a better wrestler than Bronson Reed? No, I don't think so. But I think he's more athletic than Bronson Reed. Zorro DR2VN. Number one, Gunther's killing it. Yes, he is killing it. Jay was. But this week, bro fumbled and went back to his old yeet days. Yeah, that's fair, actually. Bro almost forgot that his brother in the hospital with 15 stitches. That's fair. Yeah, last week he was like slapping the microphone out of Gunther's hand, and this week he's like, encore. It's like, okay, I'm not scared of you, Oos. You said that last week. Let's I don't know, say something else. And then number 2, Karrion Kross is awesome. Great storytelling in the match. Push this guy. Karrion Kross is like, yeah, he's starting to win over the crowd. I am Juicy Pablo. Hey, Juicy Pablo. Hot take, this was a trash Raw. Honestly, I don't think that was a hot take. At this point, when I'm reading, a lot of people weren't too fond of this one. Raphael at air, we have Gunther's intensity needs to be studied. If this guy knows how to make you feel concerned about what is going to happen to his opponent, Sammy had it easy last year. Yeah, Gunther, like... Whew, Gunther is making it. Gunther is doing a really good job of selling this program. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul is a dark horse to be a show stealer. Wish they had more time to build this feud. I think this feud is like literally... I think Triple H is just like, it's going to be such a good match, we don't need to build it. And... okay. I mean, it's going to be a great match. You're right. It's going to steal the show. Number 3, Seth Rollins is a menace to society. It's one to wear a shield-like vest to a segment, but to say what's best for business, he's just provoking the game for the love of the game. So here we go, Seth, wearing shield-like gear, hitting Roman with the chair. Best for business. We know best for business is a sign that you're about to turn full heel. Oh, and P.S., the place card that said, "We'll leave my husband for Roman" is evil work. Yeah, there's a sign that's getting a lot of like, "We'll leave my husband for Roman," but it's like right in front of this dude, or the lady is like, there's a dude right in front of this lady, so all you see is the dude and the sign, so that poor guy's probably gonna get made fun of. Cam Nami, I usually root for the underdog, but I kind of want Gunther to win. Jay is promising to win, but I just don't feel a fire in him like I do with Gunther. Jay should be beyond mad, a full serious hatred towards Gunther for what he did to Jimmy, but he just didn't seem that mad. He definitely didn't seem that mad this week. Last week, okay, everyone told me like, oh no, it's good that he's not crashing out and wanting to fight Gunther. It's good because he's so angry right now that he's beyond that. He's like quiet angry right now, which is even worse. But this week he's like, I'm not even sure what he was. It was like he was angry, but he still wanted the crowd to yeet. Negligence. How is it possible that Roman, Seth, and Punk are boring me? Like 3 or 4 years ago, this probably would have been hyped, but instead it's forgettable trash. Actually, I won't say it's forgettable, but it definitely is pointless. So yeah, you know what the problem is they made it all about Paul Heyman, and that would have been a good storyline for like one week out of this build, but they chose to make it the entire focus of the storyline. It's like when it was WrestleMania 18, Triple H versus Chris Jericho. That should have been an awesome match. That should have been absolutely great. They had a lot of real life heat amongst each other. Plus, they had slowly throughout the course of like a couple of years kind of like flirted with a program and a feud, but never fully got there. And so we get this feud. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And then they made it all about Stephanie McMahon and her getting a divorce or her relationship falling apart with Triple H. And it's like, when you did that, the storyline became something else, and then that storyline, the feelings you had for that storyline bled into the match. The Paul Heyman stuff is good, but shouldn't be the thing that carries this. CM Punk was trashing WWE for 10 years. Seth Rollins betrayed Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns became an evil dictator. There's so many things we could be exploring here, and yet we're talking about 2 of the guys' relationship with a manager who by all rights has been a heel for the most of his entire career, and then a third guy who is just trying to use that to make use the manager to make these 2 more angry with each other. It's like, how is this a build to WrestleMania main event? I'll tell Leonardo, Jay's promo really took me out of the feud. I thought we were getting serious Jay as of last week, but he randomly decides to go back to cutting a pointless yeet promo. Also, it's amazing how WWE are the only ones who don't know that it's not fun for the TV audience to drag out the yeet fest every single week. This isn't a house show. It's a go home to Mania. What are we doing? I mean, what, you don't like watching the crowd yeet for 12 minutes? That's like shocker. Bishop Marley, the WrestleMania build is no worse than what we've been gotten over the past few years. We have to stop comparing it to the legendary build of last year. I did speak on that. I pretty much agree with you, but I have started to think that we can compare maybe the main events together, because The Rock showed up again. The Rock knew what he was doing. He showed up, and like, it's fair to compare The Rock's part in WrestleMania 41 with The Rock's part in WrestleMania 40. I'm okay to compare those two segments, but as a whole, I agree you should compare maybe WrestleMania 41 to WrestleMania 39, if that makes sense. But I hear what you're saying. Shazab Hassan, this Raw really reminded me of the concerns from when Triple H first took over, that he couldn't book baby faces. They always end up seeming incredibly naive or just incoherent. I'm just gonna leave that. That's fair. Okay, yeah. Like the baby faces do. Incoherent just reminds me of Cody Rhodes whenever when he's confronted with something. He's just like, when he doesn't get too mad and he has to think but seem like concerned. Should I give Rock my soul? Noah Trimpey, there are a lot of complaints about Jay's lack of in-ring move variety, but can we talk about his lack of creativity on the microphone? There you go. This is interesting. He uses modern buzzwords for easy clout. What else is there really truly to his character, except that he happens to be born Bloodline? Now, I will say that his character during the Bloodline, actually born Samoan, he said, as his character during the Bloodline, I feel there was depth. And it's weird that he, that he lost it. Like, the yeet and the easy clout words should actually add to his overall character, but I feel like he peaked and then he went down. Is it because he's not near Roman and Paul Heyman every day, kind of telling them how to act? I don't know. Like, Jay, call them up, call them up and ask for advice, because you were definitely, you had more nuances and character when you were the Bloodline. I get it. You're selling more merchandise as Yeet, and I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying, blend the two together. Characters, that is. X Amazing, X Thanks. What's missing from this year? What we had last year is the real life drama, the blurred lines behind the scenes of drama. Rock is stealing Cody's spot, and the whole gossip that created the final boss. There's none of that this year. Honestly, I would say we had the biggest heel turn of all time. Could have been all time. But remember John Cena turned heel? That was this WrestleMania season. It's literally happening as we speak. But why aren't we all about it? Remember when John Cena turned heel 6 weeks ago? That should have been our minds should still be blown by that. When Hulk Hogan turned heel, that's changed the business. And maybe it's unfair. Here I am. I said earlier that we shouldn't compare to 30 years ago. Now I'm comparing something to 30 years ago, but it's but we haven't had a heel turn like that in 30 years. And John Cena's heel turn, it's fizzled out. How is that even possible? I don't get it. Yes, we didn't get the final boss, but a John Cena heel turn, and that's just kind of it's just okay. This should not be okay. This should be epic all time, and yet. Oh man. Pack Rim Electric. Finn Balor is going to have a program with the future world champion Jay. I could see that. That would be, I could see it. And then Finn Balor would lose. And then I'll be all mad. WWE Triple H has not made a good Raw or SmackDown in ages. Lots of filler, lots of nothing happening for a while, then something, then nada. I would say the Raws and SmackDowns not necessarily horrible, but forgettable. I would say they're more forgettable than horrible. But what Triple H has been doing lately seems to be this: just a very predictable, safe Raw, SmackDown, and then something big happens, and then we only focus on the big thing. So it's all he has to do is really captivate us for 3 to 5 minutes. and then we forget everything else that was bad about the show. Tiffy versus Miss Flair is going to be a banger. Yes, it is. Maybe it's a train wreck when they get on the mics together, but at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair, someone put it in the chat, she's very egotistical, and she will do everything in her power to have the best match on the card. So, like, I think it will be good. Why isn't Sheamus in the Intercontinental match? That's fair. If we're going to make it a fatal four-way, why not just throw a fifth person in? And Sheamus has an immediate all-time Intercontinental chase story that he doesn't even really need too much to be written in. And why isn't Karrion Kross not on WrestleMania? Also, he looked gas. He did look a little gassed at the end, but I would have liked for him to be on WrestleMania. I wish he was going to be on WrestleMania. He deserves it. Tis Mickey. At this point, can we just get to Mania and let Jay win? I'm tired of this feud. They did one good thing in the feud and thought we were supposed to be happy with it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. How one good thing and then we can forget everything else. They did one awesome, amazing angle with Jimmy Uso and we can forget all about Gunther's back and forth match with Otis and the A-Town Down Under with Jay. I'm tired of Jay and Gunther, and I'm tired of Tiffany and Charlotte. I don't even care who wins either match. That's actually saying something. Tiz Mickey's a huge Jay Uso fan, and for her to just be, I don't care. I don't care. That's actually pretty telling. And in my opinion, Tiz Mickey is like the example of a fan that we gotta worry about. In that, like, I'm a lifer. WWE, I'll just watch wrestling forever, but I don't want someone like Tiz Mickey, like, to bow out, to say wrestling's no longer for me. And I feel, Tiz Mickey, that you're almost to that point, and I hope you're not. I hope that you can, wrestling has ups and downs, and like, stick with it, because I can feel your frustration, and it's valid frustration even. I'm not even going to tell you, oh, you're overreacting. No, honestly, you're not. But, I hope you stick around. But hey, you got some good news here. And Karrion Kross grew on me tonight, and I wish he was on the WrestleMania card at this point. So there you go. Latch on to your feelings about how Karrion Kross grew on you, because I feel your concerns. And we'll end with Jimbo Slice. It really feels like WWE put all their efforts into pageantry and flashy appeal of WrestleMania rather than the actual card and booking. Every week, they're trying to sell us a ticket bundles, WWE World, Dead Man Podcast, Pat McAfee shows, the roast of WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, the parties during WrestleMania week, celebrity appearances, and performances. They have time for all of this, yet they seem to phone it in on the booking of the actual shows that people are paying to see. I'm sorry, but this is a joke. That's actually, I like that. That's, you know what? You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of when a franchise sells itself to a corporation. The corporation is going to just rain down expectations on you need to make more money. And suddenly the franchise, it says, oh, employee meals are now under $10. You can no longer do this. You can no longer do that. You can no longer do this. And it's because the corporation, it doesn't care. The corporation just wants money. That's it. And then they justify it. Well, it's a business, so we got to make as much money as possible. And that's how I'm seeing what's happening right now. And I wonder if that's what it is all about right now, the pageantry of everything. And they're saying, how can we get more and more and more money out of everything? And I'm okay. I'm okay with TKO making as much money as possible, but not at the cost of the storylines that make wrestling awesome. The only reason we want to pay all that money is because of awesome wrestling storylines and awesome wrestling. So you got to give us this in order to make all the money that you want. Yeah, maybe right now you can sell you can sell all these tickets based on what you've done in the past to lead up to this point. But if you continue down this road, in 10 years, we're going to be back into the 2010s level of creativity and excitement for wrestling, where it's only going to be wrestling nerds like myself still enjoying the product. So wrestling's super hot right now, but in order to keep it super hot right now, we can't just bank on 2 or 3 minutes of really hot story in an episode of Raw or build to WrestleMania. So those are my hot takes. I appreciate every single one of you. I apologize that things have been a little more on the negative side, but I feel like, you know what? At the end of the day, WrestleMania is going to be awesome. We're going to have a good time, and if things aren't to our liking at this moment, well, next week starts a brand new year of wrestling, because as one WrestleMania closes, another WrestleMania looms on the horizon, and next week we start the road to WrestleMania 42. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day.